Let's chat about a new Chromebook that's here in the office. It's actually sitting on the desk here with us.
Probably couldn't see it because it's like so.
It's
camouflaged,
blending in. This was
see it through
it
Paul.
does go well with Paul.
Yeah,
Yes,
there you go.
definitely.
Yeah, eco-friendly.
Sit up there with Paul. See,
That's
look
right.
at it.
There we go. So this is a fully recycled.
Not fully.
Mostly recycled.
30% on the outer bits.
The packaging was 100%.
Packaging's 100% post-consumer. No, it's PET, whatever that. We looked it up.
Yeah.
It's like polyethyl
Yeah.
triglomerate.
Yeah.
I sound like an idiot right now, but
The poly thing.
it was a long string of letters. But it's a certain type of stuff that it's like a plasticky, fibery stuff made from recycled materials.
Yeah.
And water-based ink. And so it's like
Yeah.
completely recycled and recyclable. This is made up of 30% post-consumer recycled materials. The keycaps are 50% post-consumer. And I think that goes for the ocean glass. Which, by
Probably,
the way, the smoothness of the trackpad on this thing, like it's
The ocean glass is impressive
Feel that
because it's
thing.
not glass, but whatever
That's
they
super smooth.
That's
I get it,
really
it's
nice.
plastic, but it's super duper smooth. Like it feels really great.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they're going to make plastic trackpads that feel like that, go plastic all day. I don't
Absolutely.
care. And so yeah, but obviously a huge emphasis with this device on environmental friendliness and ecological things. And as what's funny is like you think about stuff like that. For some reason, I remember using. Did y'all ever use the recycled paper in school?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have the notebook and it's full of the recycled paper, and so it's kind of like white bread and wheat bread kind of thing. Like wheat bread sometimes works, but sometimes there's just no substitute for good old fashioned white bread.
Yep.
And I remember even writing on the recycled paper didn't quite feel right. Like it had almost like a glossy finish to it or something. I don't know. And this thing makes me feel. It initially made me feel that way because it's speckled, which they make it look that way. It's not like the materials made it speckled. Like
No.
it's speckled to look kind of like a recycled cardboardy kind of thing. But I remember seeing, because they've made Windows versions of this for a while, and I remember seeing the Windows versions and just thinking like, yeah, it's gonna feel cheap. It's gonna feel bad to use, but at least you're taking one for the team and doing something good for the environment. Basically, you're choosing the Acer device that they've put a lot of work into making way more sustainable over time. So you're doing the right thing, and yeah, it won't be as great, but that's okay. It's fine. That is not the case at all. This thing feels great.
Yeah.
It looks great. It's fun to use. Like I've been using it actually as my main device for the last couple of days because we just wrapped up the Spin 714 review. So I'm like, ooh, before I send this back, I can use this for a couple of days.
Yeah.
But like the boxy design of this thing, the way that they've like embossed all the logos and stuff in it. So instead of stickers, like it's embossed in the side of there, and the front has Chromebook Vero on it. Just
Yeah, I don't know if we said the official name.
yeah,
Did
Acer Chromebook Vero 514.
Yeah.
And so it's a Vero.
The keyboard is just.
Yeah, the keyframe
I
is
expected the keyboard to be just like
cheapest
like
one they got.
paper light.
Yeah.
It is really nice to type on.
Yeah, the keyframe's great. The ocean glass trackpad's really good. I think we measured the screen at somewhere around 300 nits, but it's anti-glare, which is nice. 100% sRGB. It's got a 1080p webcam on it. Fingerprint scanner. This one's got a Core i7. Yeah, this one's the i7
Steam
16256.
compatible. Yeah, it's great. It's fanned, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, it's so good. And for a recycled Chromebook, obviously it's all plastic, and a lot of times we're like, ugh, all plastic. There was a device that came in, I won't say what it was, that had a high price tag. And I got it out of the box and realized it was all plastic, and it was not good plastic. And it was such a turn off that we're probably not even going to do anything with it. We're just going to send it back. And that type of thing, a lot of times you think like, oh, this is an all plastic Chromebook, so it feels cheap. It feels flimsy. Not the case at all with this. Like this thing is firm. Like it feels like it's made of aluminum. I mean, obviously the touch doesn't, but the firmness of this device, it's just so well made. And the i3-8128 model will be at Best Buy in October for $500,
which is
awesome.
crazy.
And that's another thing. Like with recycled stuff, usually like doing my part, it's going to cost me a little bit more, but it's okay.
Yeah, because you
being
figure
a good consumer, and it's like, no, it's dirt cheap.
Yeah, the HP, which it'll be a convertible, but HP's comparable specs, it's going to be a $720 device. So That's killer.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like to the point, like I don't know. There's part of me that really likes. I like having this. I like this Chromebook a lot. I really do. So I don't know. We've been going through so many Chromebooks. The idea of me having this is going to be my Chromebook is a joke because I'd go buy it and I'd never get to use it.
Right.
So, but I really, really like this Chromebook. I can't wait till we get to review it so I can get to spend a few weeks with it and actually to give my full review of it because we can't talk about all this stuff just because it's technically pre-production. This thing feels post-production. Like it feels really good.
Feels ready.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I mean, you already said it, but just like the small touches, just the embossed logos and the yellow accents.
So
the little yellow pop
the little feet, they're a little yellow.
It's really cool.
It's just so cool. It's got all the ports you want, USB-C. I looked up, they didn't say. I would assume with this board, it should be Thunderbolt ports, but they don't say on here.
It's i7. I can't imagine it not being.
Any Alder Lake core, they all have potential to be Thunderbolt ports, but so it should be 2 Thunderbolts, but you get the full-size HDMI, so port layout's great. Like, nothing to complain about with this Chromebook. I guess, I don't know. I never use convertible stuff on Chromebooks, to be honest, so I wish I had a one-finger lift. But the hinge is nice and firm, so when it's open and you go to push on it, like that thing ain't moving. It's not wiggling around and stuff. The webcam looks really good. So, speakers?
I was gonna say, did you listen to the speakers because they're downward, right?
Yeah, they're just okay. So that's probably my only knock against it as a Chromebook overall. But I really like this thing.
Is that their Vero logo?
Vero that's their
logo.
It's this, or is that post-consumer recycled logo?
Oh, okay. Oh, is that one just have the wave on it because it's the ocean plastic?
I don't know, maybe. It looks similar to that, but this one has a little arrow on it, and
right?
It doesn't. So I don't know.
Yeah. And the top is, I when we were filming the unboxing, I wasn't messing around with it much, but it's like textured too.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a print or like a, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's textured.
Yeah, it's got a cool design going through the whole thing.
Yep. Almost like raised dots.
Yeah.
But you don't get any fingerprints with it.
Right.
And again, like when you pick it up, like it just feels so substantial. I love it. I love this. I love this device.
And so the you mentioned October for production model?
Yeah, so it should be hitting Best Buy in October.
Dang,
so not too long.
Yeah, I was gonna say fairly close. That's probably why this one feels so good. Like this is
pretty close.
Probably close to getting.
Yeah, my guess is like we'll get a review unit. It will be this exact same thing. But yeah, being able to configure it up to these, like the fact that it's got all the high end stuff in it too, is really interesting to me. Again, and that's just because I've got certain ideas about like what recycled means. That always
I mean,
like
a device like this, I would expect to see with like a Pentium Silver.
Yeah,
and whatever.
I think they're going to do
like a Pentium Gold
version. Yeah, a Pentium Gold version. Of this,
I think like the new 17-inch devices that are on the market, they have a Pentium Silver, 8 gigs of RAM. Okay, that's what I imagine looking at this. But
because this is recycled.
This has everything that you would want in a premium device.
Yeah, and I don't know. There's just something about, and maybe it's just the fact that we get aluminum laptops all the time, and
just
we
something
see
different.
a lot of it's so different, so intriguing, and I love that they have this boxy design to it. I wish more laptops looked like this. Mac OS or MacBooks have not gone too far away. Like the MacBook Air was pretty slopey. But they had to do that to kind of give it the original one, make it look like that wedge shape. But they've really gotten away from that. And there's something modern and cool about this. And we've said it since the original Chromebook Pixel and the Pixelbook and all those devices. Like, you don't need all the slopes and curves and stuff on a laptop unless it's a big chunker. And you've got to do that to make it look less
slimmer,
ridiculous on the
anything,
desk.
Anything from 12.3 to, heck, even 15.6, but 14-inch. I love all the way back to the C302, but the Pixel also, that squared off. There's something just premium and
like
sophisticated about that squared off look.
Yeah,
and I think it proves to you too that it is actually as thin as they're saying it is. Like
right.
Yeah, if it's got those boxy edges and still doesn't look ridiculous sitting on the desk, like That's not a thick device because your eyes aren't getting faked out at all by this.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this clip of the Chromecast. If you want to see the full episode, we have a whole other YouTube channel that's the full episode. It's all of the stuff, not just clips.
The Chromecast podcast.
The Chromecast podcast.
Without the clips.
Yeah.
All of it.
But if you like this, give us a thumbs up. Go in there, click subscribe, and click the notification bell icon. Helps the algorithm.
Yep.
And you'll see our stuff when we publish new clips.
Yeah.
Just go check it out. All right, we'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.